Super Mario Party Jamboree kicks off with Kamek welcoming you to a bigger, bolder Mario Party, and it didn't take long for me to realize that confident opening statement wasn't just hype. The latest entry in Nintendo's 25-year-old dice-rolling, star-swiping bash is not only its biggest, but also one of its best. Jamboree is the true sequel to 2021's Mario Party Superstars I was hoping for, as well as a faithful follow-up to the classic Mario Party games from the Nintendo 64 and GameCube eras. Its boards stand with the most impressive in the series, its great lineup of minigames sometimes celebrates Mario's history in delightful ways, and its new rules options are impressively flexible. Its side modes may be a bit uneven, but Jamboree otherwise iterates and improves upon this tried-and-true formula so successfully that it almost feels like it was plucked from an alternate timeline where Mario Party never lost its way at all. This might be the strongest set of boards we've ever seen in a Mario Party game. There are 7 gorgeous options to choose from, and they range in quality from pretty good to utterly fantastic. There's not a single dud in the bunch, each providing unique twists that made playing through all of them with a full group a blast. Here at Rainbow Galleria, recurring flash sales reduce the price of items and stars, while Goomba Lagoon's shifting water levels open and close branching paths, potentially leaving you stranded. Board-specific items spice things up further, like Roll'em Raceway's Turbo Dice that let you use a whopping 4 dice blocks in a single turn at the expense of skipping everything you pass, including the star. Every board's mechanics and items lend themselves to extremely satisfying risk-reward decisions, keeping me on my toes with something new to consider each turn. There's still a lot that's completely out of your hands, like here when I went from first to last on literally the final turn of the game. But it's fun, and often incredibly stressful, to know that a match is almost never over until the results screen. That's the essence of Mario Party, and Jamboree completely nails the balance of self-determination and fate that the series is built on. You'll probably lose some games you deserve to win, and you'll definitely steal some victories you didn't really earn, but that's all part of the fun.
You got stars!
If that doesn't sound like a good time to you, Jamboree's brand new Pro Rules completely reinvent the way Mario Party is played, setting out to replace as many luck-based events as possible to make it feel like a highly competitive tabletop game. Item shops will have limited stock, the singular bonus star category is revealed before the match starts, and everyone votes between 3 choices to select which minigame is played. Those are just a few of the changes that make Pro Rules a much sweatier choice, and I loved how different it felt compared to standard party rules. If you're someone who's complained since Mario Party's inception about how random it can all feel, the inclusion of Pro Rules is Nintendo finally providing an entirely optional answer.
Congratulations!
And the options don't stop there. In standard party rules, you can adjust the turns, bonus stars, minigames, and more. I wish there were a few more things I could tweak. The only way to play with 3 bonus stars is to play a 30-turn game, but it's still a welcome system that truly lets you pick the way you party. You can also play Mario Party online with friends or strangers, and it at least ran perfectly in an online play session hosted by Nintendo ahead of launch.
Finish!
Jamboree's large roster of 22 playable characters also keeps the variety up, and some of the amazing little details that change depending on who you're playing as elevate the whole package. For example, when I was playing as Boo and visited this Boo, they remarked that it was like looking in a mirror. Or when Bowser Jr. swings by Koopa's shop, he's welcomed as Your Majesty by the faithful Troopa. The board game is just half of the equation though, and Jamboree largely nails its other most important component with an awesome lineup of minigames.
A new record!
There aren't quite as many in the main Mario Party mode as I'd like. Jamboree boasts 110 minigames in total, but that includes the challenges from every mode, not just base Mario Party. When you whittle it down, there are just over 50 minigames you could potentially get at the end of each turn.
Finish!
This puts Jamboree more in line with older Mario Party games, which was mildly disappointing after Superstars spoiled us with over 80 options that could regularly appear. But the minigames that are here are pretty much all great. Highlights include working with a partner to cut these sizzling steaks exactly in half, trying to take a photo that perfectly matches an example, and surviving as long as you can while dodging endless falling sandwiches.
Finish.
There are a handful of returning minigames too, with old favorites like Jump the Gun making a comeback. The motion minigames are even more fun than I expected, and I actually didn't mind having them in the rotation, even though you can turn them off entirely if you want.
Winner.
The main new mechanic Jamboree introduces centers on its cast in the form of Jamboree Buddies, which are allies you'll compete to recruit during longer, more complex minigames. These showdown minigames are one of the highlights of Jamboree. Each one celebrates a different character on the roster with clear adoration for Nintendo history. Luigi's game takes place in a mansion, while Donkey Kong's is a rhythm game where you bang on bongos. When bringing a Jamboree buddy around the board, every action you can take is doubled. That means you can buy 2 stars, but landing on a Bowser space will have you visit the big guy twice. Jamboree buddies only stick around for a few turns, so you have to make sure to maximize their powers and character-specific abilities before they leave, adding yet another layer of strategy to the mix. My only hang-up with the Jamboree buddies is how easy they are for other players to steal. You can fight your heart out to win one, but all it takes is another character passing you to swipe them away.
You got stars.
Then, at the results screen, the buddy that betrayed you has the audacity to show up, waving a flag with your face on it like nothing ever happened. I know what you did, Wario, so stop acting like we're all good.
Winner.
It was initially frustrating to play such a long minigame that could end up being for nothing, but I eventually got used to watching my back to keep my buddy safe, even if losing them is occasionally inevitable. Mario Party's runtime is seemingly at an all-time high. In the early going, it took my group of 4 roughly 2 hours to finish a 15-turn game, though that time went down as everyone got more familiar with the minigames. I don't mind how long these matches take because I'm always having fun, but it's a big time commitment all the same. Still, I significantly prefer that to the watered-down Mario Party games we were getting for so many years, and there is an option to save and quit your match and return to it later if you run out of time.
Congratulations.
The big new additions in terms of side modes are Koopathlon and Bowser Kaboom Squad, which are admirable attempts at giving solo players something else to do online, but their quality is a roll of the dice. Koopathlon is a marathon of single-player minigames played against 19 others simultaneously. The minigames are fun, but there are only 9 of them, and I was left feeling like I'd seen most of what Koopathlon has to offer after just a few runs.
Time's up.
Meanwhile, Bowser Kaboom Squad is a cooperative mode where you work with 7 others to take down Imposter Bowser. It gets old fast, and the cooperative minigames are incredibly frustrating when playing with strangers you can't communicate with. Party Planning Trek is Jamboree's attempt at a story mode, but it's similarly forgettable. Other than that, there's a trio of motion control modes, with the clear standout being the Rhythm Heaven-inspired Rhythm Kitchen. Nothing here amounts to more than a small distraction, but they're harmless enough that their mixed quality doesn't detract from how fantastic the main party mode remains. Super Mario Party Jamboree is an amazing follow-up to Mario Party Superstars and easily one of the best games in the series. Not only does it faithfully return to the classic formula established in the Nintendo 64 entries, it confidently improves upon it with a fantastic set of boards that introduce unique and memorable mechanics. It's also the most flexible Mario Party has ever been, with tons of ways to customize your game, including its brilliant new optional pro rules that reduce luck-based elements and crank up the strategy for those who want it.
You got a star.
The wonderful maps are supported by a great lineup of new and returning minigames and character-specific challenges that steal the show.
Here we go.
Even if I wish there were just a few more minigames in the rotation, The side offerings may not have much staying power, but when partying with friends and family locally or online, Super Mario Party Jamboree boldly completes the series' redemption arc as its newest superstar.
Winner!
For more from the world of Mario, check out our reviews of Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door and Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. And for everything else, stick with IGN.